Season's greetings to you, viewers, and I welcome you to Writing Theatre channel. A woman greeted me this morning. She said, "Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year." And I responded in the affirmative. Then suddenly, she code switched and said what she said in Yoruba. She said, "A kú ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ọdún Kérésì àti ọdún tuntun." Then I challenged her, "Madam, why did you have to change what you said earlier? Because the meaning of what you said earlier is quite different from what you just said now." And she told me that it was unacceptable in English to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. And I objected. And I told her, "You are not operating in the English environment. You are operating in our environment, in our local environment here. And our culture accepts in advance because Eku Ipalemo simply means that Christmas has not come. New Year has not come. We are looking forward to both of them. And that was the reason you said Eku Ipalemo. So for you to say Eku Ipalemo means Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. The words may not be exact, but they are the equivalents. Language is culture. We are using language to project our culture. We don't have to say the way the Englishman says it. We say it the way our culture admits it. So we are free to say Eku Ipalemo, and the same way we use the English equivalent to express that. Language is our culture. Language is our life. Language is our identity. Language is our pride. And we use language to project our culture. And there is no one language that is superior to another. We might be talking in terms of spread, maybe international spread. And then in that wise, we might be speaking about English or French. English is spoken widely by Anglophone countries. French is spoken widely by Francophone countries. And there are very many. But that is not to say that both English and French are superior to other languages, as long as those other languages are used as a means of communication by human beings. We can use someone else's language, another land's language, to project our own culture. We have Nollywood. We use Nollywood. We use English in our Nollywood in Nigeria, for example. And the Nollywood that we do, we use English to project Nigerian culture in Nollywood. The same thing. When we greet in our culture, but we can use English to project that culture. That is the way it should be. There is no language that is superior to another, just as I mentioned earlier. The important thing is for us to accept what we have and to project what we have and to promote what we have. In those days, in the early morning of every January 1, I remember my mother. Each time any of the children prostrated to greet her, she would begin the cognomen. She would begin to praise that child to the genealogy of the father and her own family, the mother's side. And then the child's head will swell. Oh, so lovely, so beautiful. We still have our cognomen. So wherever we find ourselves, no matter whether in a foreign land or in our land. We should use whatever language we are using to project our culture. And therefore, to those of us that speak the same language as I speak, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance. But to those other people who belong to other cultures that do not accept in advance, I simply say a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to you. And I say bye for now.